Okay, thanks to ID Athletic this year, our guest interviews. Usually we do some of these online, but we're lucky enough to be joined in studio by a couple of winners. Yes, that's right. On the winners list, we've got Alex Witherden from the West Coast Eagles on the weekend, and we've got Dom Sheed from the Waffle side on the weekend. Boys, it's good to have you in here after a win. Welcome.
Thank you, Schoey.
Thanks for having us, mate. It's good to be here. This is a nice joint you got in here, new studio. Last time I come in the studio, I was in the back of your garage, so this is a bit of an upgrade. So.
Well, you're both returning guests, so it is an upgrade. Alex, I think you may be the only guest to have ever not got through an interview because you had a coughing fit throughout. People probably wouldn't know that, but I think it's worth mentioning off the top.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Schoey only let me come on the show with the promise that I wouldn't interrupt having a coughing fit again, so I'll do my best.
Good, boys. We're going to chat through a few things, but I think let's start with footy. The three of us are going to go on the Kokoda Trek a little later on this year in October, but we'll get into that a bit later on. Let's start with you, Witho. What was the atmosphere like yesterday? It must have been good. 47,000 people for a big win.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good day for the footy club. It's been a challenging couple of years, but it was awesome to see all the fans come out, see Harley do his thing, Yoey do his thing, and then Jakey Waterman up forward was just a pleasure to watch. It was like having JK down there again.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, well, no, he was more the G Train. He reckons he reminds himself of Fraser Gehrig. So
because he calls himself the Loosh, which
Loosh.
is a Fraser Gehrig.
No,
that's Revolver.
It's Feverloosh. So right. Feverloosh into the Loosh.
So it's Brendan Favola and Fraser Gehrig.
Yep.
He's like a Pokemon evolution of those two.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He's been getting called the G Train for a little bit as well. So
the G Train,
a bit of carry on there.
Similar head to the G Train as well.
Sheed, you would have been like me watching along. I was working. You came after the game. Did you come along?
Yes. I was there.
So look, I won't ask Alex first up, but Harley Reid, who I know we all love talking about, but for me, you boys would have seen high draft picks come into footy clubs, and sometimes they assimilate, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're liked, sometimes they're not. He looks well liked. Like he kicked a goal, which wasn't his first goal, and half the team got around him. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. The boys love him, and the crowd love him as well. And
it's good.
It is good. It is good. The boys look after him, and he's not a selfish player either. What he wants to do is he wants to run out and play his role for the team, and that's exactly what he did yesterday. He was good in the contest. He worked well with Yoey and TK, and then from there you saw some of his talent that shone through after that. So it was good to see him. It was good to see him play the way he did, and it was good to see him gel well with the whole team and especially the midfield group.
I think the main thing, Schoey, is he's been on the back page of the paper. He's been probably the most talked about person in WA, but he's still extremely humble. He'll still be looking to learn off Sheeder and those older guys, and doesn't act like he knows it all. And it'd be quite easy for someone in his position to let it all get to him, but he hasn't at all. So it's been really impressive.
It's interesting looking at the midfield group you've got. It's pretty experienced. Like yourself, Yoey, TK. I'm probably missing some in there as well. He's got some guys to learn off, doesn't he? And Luke Schoey, of course, sort of as a coach as well.
Yeah, I think Boots has been probably the best mentor he could have possibly got coming into the AFL. He's got a good balance between having fun and getting better. So, we do have an experienced group, and it's good to see Yoey running around like he is at the moment, being a beast in the contest, and obviously Harley joining that, and it sort of allows TK to do his thing. So hopefully they can bring out the best in each other throughout the year, and we've seen some positive signs the last fortnight in the way we want to play. So it's good to get reward and actually get not only a win, but a good win in front of our home crowd. It does a world of good for the boys' confidence.
You had massive stoppage dominance with You would have been in the back line. Could you tell that out there? You've played in a lot of games over the last couple of years where you haven't had that. It makes a difference as a backman when you get that midfield dominance.
Yeah, it does. And we're able to play a forward half game, and I think for us high half backs, we're able to just play our role. We didn't have to do too much yesterday, which was good. But that allowed us to just play front half footy, allowed the forwards to put pressure on, allowed us to get assertive in our positioning behind the ball, and then you win the footy back and you're not running as much, you're not transitioning up and down the ground as much, so you got more energy for the contest. So I think that's why it probably looked really well connected yesterday.
Sheeda, how many blokes were in the circle in the Waffle? Hadn't won for 650 plus games in the Waffle. Were you in there? Have you won with the Waffle side before? I know you've won it.
Yeah, I have. I've had a few games, but
How many was
Waffle Eagles though?
I didn't realise. Maybe not. I'm not sure. When was the last time? I'm not really sure. It was a couple.
Was there a few boys in the middle?
What's that?
Was there a few boys in the middle of the circle?
Yeah, there was heaps. There was heaps. We actually didn't have a circle. We had just everyone standing in like a huddle like situation. So
People just throwing Powerade in there.
Oh mate, it was just a great feeling. And sometimes you lose sight of why you play footy. And when we were singing the song yesterday, to have two teams be able to do it, you remember why you play footy, and that's the reason you play to win. And hopefully we can transfer that winning feeling for the rest of the year, because we know what it takes to win, and especially at Waffle Eagles level, we now know what it takes to match it with not only the good teams but the premiers from last year.
Yep.
So it gives us great confidence to go, if we play that way, we're going to win our fair share of games this year.
Liam Ryan, the backman, I ran into flying on Thursday. He came and whispered in my ear that he was been training as a backman, and I said, I can tell you how to fist the ball if you like. He said, no worries, bros. I'll just take hangers. I don't need to spoil it if I'm marking it. How did he go? I'm interested to know. I didn't get to see the game.
No, he was good. Him and JJ worked really well in the back line. So I don't think that'll be Liam's spot in the AFL team, but he... he did some good things down there. He took the kick-ins, and he used the ball really well and provided some great run through the corridor. So, used the ball well, kicking the burley around, and he actually hit me with the burley with no boot on. That's how good his skills were yesterday.
He probably preferred
he lost
those
it.
boots,
Yeah, I know. He said he wanted to run around barefoot after that. But
how did you go?
No, he's good. Yeah, I was okay. I thought I played my role well in the middle there.
Second game back.
So I think the great thing about yesterday was we didn't have any real major standout player. I think everyone was consistently good across the board, and that's the expectation going forward, is you don't need to be remarkable, you just need to be reliable. So it was good learnings from yesterday.
Witho, were you late in, or you'd been in the side, hadn't you? I was confused.
Yeah, I was a late in, yeah.
You were late in? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's that like as a player coming in? You've been in and out of the side a little bit. Do you go in wanting to just play your role, just like Sheed said, reliable, not remarkable? You want to fit into that back line? Is that how that works?
Pretty much, yeah. For me, it's just about being reliable. I think that's what my teammates want from me and expect of me. And I'll just do that to the best of my ability, and selection takes care of itself. But you know what it's like being a backman. Like, you just want to play with guys that are going to turn up, compete, play their role.
Yep. I was giving you a good pump up in the Fox Footy coverage. If you want to listen back to that with, I'll just
appreciate that.
I'll take
mate.
the money a little bit later, but I was giving you an absolute royal polishing actually up in the box.
Oh, perfect, mate. Appreciate that.
Now, boys, this isn't, well, you know what? It is the reason we've got you in, and it was good to talk about some wins. So I did say that getting you in here on a day like this, where everyone's won, everyone's happy, and everyone's not asking you what's going wrong with the Eagles.
We did plan this before the results. So
correct. It's about 6 weeks out. Yeah, correct. So, boys, we are going on the Kokoda Trek together. Papua New Guinea, a huge part of Australian war history. Many lives lost from an Australian military perspective. There's now opportunities to go and do this, and I've heard of footy clubs and teams and even organisations going and doing it, but the opportunities come up for us to get over and do this together, and we've taken it. How are we feeling? It's going to be in October, so after the season is done, a pretty special opportunity to do it all together.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. This opportunity come up a few months ago, and it was something that I thought, I'd love to go on. I'd love to jump at it. So I look forward to it, doing it with a couple of my mates, and hopefully a few other mates coming along as well. So, they did it tough. My history isn't quite up to scratch where I'd like it to be. So I'd love to go over there and walk the trail. I think it's a 7-day trail or a 10-day trip and a 7-day walk. And I look forward to it, to seeing, learning the history and what they all went through, and, just the resilience piece of it and the teamwork piece of it, and all of that is something that I'm very interested in learning about and doing.
Witho, what about you, mate? Where's the motivation come for you to go on and do this?
Yeah, well, I'm a lover of Australian history, and obviously World War II is a big component of that. And this might be a little bit off, but I'm pretty sure the battle in Kokoda was really important for Australia not being invaded by Japan. So we're lucky enough to live the life that we do now because of those soldiers that risked their lives. But I think as Sheed touched on, the mental and the physical challenge of doing it is something that really appeals to me, but the ability to build connections, make relationships with some great mates, but also people that we don't know, and meet some new people. And I've got my brother coming along as well, so it's a great opportunity to, I moved out of home 8 years ago and don't get to see him that much now, so it's a great opportunity for us to bond and spend some really quality time together as well, doing something quite challenging.
So the exciting thing here is there are spots available to come and join us. That's pretty much how I got involved. I heard you two boys were doing it. I thought, I've never had the opportunity since I started playing footy to do it. A little story, if you might, boys, I might just indulge myself with, actually. So when I was in school, year 9, year 10, I was doing athletics, very fit, national runner, bit of a head wobble here, boys, no worries. And my old man and I signed up to do the Kokoda Trek together, which I think this presents as a real opportunity for fathers and sons, brothers, mates, all of that, mothers and daughters, right? We signed up to do it. And a day before we left, we got called by the organising company, which certainly isn't Health and Fitness Holidays, which are running this one. And they said, Will can't go on, he's too young. But the age isn't the issue. We think his fitness will be the issue. So they called me out because of my age and my fitness. So as I said, at the time I was a national runner. I would have been the fittest bloke out there by a long time. And they cancelled the trip on us. Never got to do it. Got drafted at the end of that year. West Coast for 15 years. Lost my old man about 5 years into that journey and never got to do it with him. And I've just never had the opportunity to come back and do it. You boys both know this. My brother lost my brother Jace at the end of last year. And he was just a massive Australian military historian. He just, similar to you, Witho, knew everything and anything about it. And he would have been on this trip with us, no doubt. So it's a bit of a piece of reflection for me. I'm fairly sure we won't have our mobile phones and jumping on social media out there. So we got almost 10 days together, grinding it out. In memory of not only fallen Australian soldiers, but family members, people that you want to do it with. So it's going to be very special, fellas. It is at the end of the season, so you boys are going to be coming in pretty fit to this, I would have thought. It's a back end. October 1st is the kickoff if you do want to come along and join us do it. Fitness not going to be an issue for you boys?
Oh, I'd like to think not, but it'll be challenging in different ways, I'm sure. So, my legs ache after walking the dog around the block for 20 minutes, but I can go out and play footy and run 13 Ks. It's a different sort of fitness, but I think the one thing that I am looking forward to, and you briefly touched on it, is sort of putting the phone away for 10 days and really just getting the most out of the trip as I can. So it'll be good, but I'm sure fitness shouldn't be an issue, mate.
What about you, Witho?
Yeah, I think I'll be okay fitness-wise, but you never know. But as Dom
on that back of yours.
Yeah, as Dom touched on, just disconnecting for 10 days from all that external stuff that we're also caught up in these days, and meeting some new people and being able to hear their story on the walk. There'll be days where you're walking for 8 or 9 hours, so it's a great chance to build some relationships, and then we can sit around the fire at the end of a day, maybe have a beer and listen to you talk about how you dominated Jordan De Goey in the grand final.
Don't worry, be copping that on the walk as well, mate. You may as well put some you might want to put some headphones in, just put them in while you're walking by me. So you mentioned, Witho, one of your best mates is going to come with us, or brother?
Brother.
Yep. My best mate, Matty Spanger, is coming along with us. He's committed to it. Don't know if the Western Bulldogs know that yet, but he certainly will be there. And you can come on the journey with us as well. There are spots available. So it kicks off October 1st. It's an 8-day trek. You get a night either side, so a pre-trip and a post-trip night in a hotel in Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. And you can get all your details at healthandfitnessholidays.com.au. You can follow them on Instagram, healthandfitnessholidays_. Or if you want to contact directly, you can get in touch with Nicole. She is at The Travel Boutique. So her email is nicole@thetravelboutique.com.au. Highly recommended to finish off on this, boys. Connecting with either, between us, you've got, father, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a cousin, a relative, a mate. I think that's probably the biggest overarching piece of this is connection, and you'll have a memory for life to come along with us. So I think it's a pretty exciting opportunity for people to get involved with.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got any questions for any of us, reach out to Schoey, myself, Dom on Instagram. We'll get back to you. And
Yeah, that's a good point.
we're keen to meet people that are keen to do it.
Witho might bring some sign. I don't know. You got a sign, maybe a signed Brisbane West Coast jumper you can bring along, mate. Or
I think Sheed has still got a pair of grand final boots that he'll bring along.
There's only one pair of those. It will be good. I'm excited, and the 8 days away will be good, mate. And I look forward to it. So I think why I'm so excited for this as well is I've spoken to a lot of people who have done the trail, and I haven't heard one bad thing about it. So everyone that comes back reckons it was an experience of a lifetime. So yeah, we look forward to it and jump on board if anyone wants to.
Yep, very good, Sheeda. Spoke to Collingwood and Hawthorn players that have done it and said it was similar to playing in a grand final, win or lose, like the actual effort you need to put into it and the connection you have with people doing it, it's pretty special. So, boys, looking forward to it. I'm going to have to start my sort of fitness run up like a little bit further out than you boys, but I'm pretty sure with the group, with Health and Fitness Holidays, they give you a big program to follow. So maybe we can meet up maybe 5 or 6 a.m, a couple of backpacks on, we walk up and down the Kwinana Freeway or something.
Well, if there's any other WA people that jump on board, maybe in September we can go for a practice hike or two.
Yeah, I like that. After you boys are done playing finals, just in case. Thank you, Witho.
I got another
late September.
Another training thing for you, Schoey. He says a spot in the back line at Waffle Eagles if you're keen on making another return. That'll be nice.
You want another one?
Mate, I'd love you down there.
I look at what you boys are doing out there and I think it can't be that hard. I mean, I was doing it a few years ago. Like, seriously, is it that hard? I've done it before.
Yeah,
I've come back before. Yeah, and I've kicked goals.
Yeah, just look at it.
I saw
as
you
Kokoda
carrying
training.
on after those games, how sore your body was.
Yeah, that's a good point. I had to stop after 2. I was meant to play 4 and I had to stop after 2. Boys, thanks for coming in. Great job on the wins on the weekend. Looking forward to doing a Kokoda with you. Maybe we can check in during the year and, I don't know, maybe we can have a few beers with the people that are joining us from Western Australia as well.
Look forward to it.
Well done, fellas. Good job. That's
you.
us, ID Athletic. Thank you very much. Alex Witherden and Dom Sheed.